Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on Moomin Issue 76. Let's go ahead and get the book open and we'll get the parts open. And there is a lot to do in this issue. Probably going to do it a little bit out of order because I've already just done because I film many of these videos back to back. I've just done the windows for the ground floor and the first floor. So I'm thinking I will probably flip to the back of the instructions and do the window first. This is okay, so this is the second floor window. We have basically the same parts that every other window has had. Make sure we've got all the parts. Okay, so but this one is just a simple square window. I'm going to set this aside, and similar to the last ones, this is curved. So how this is going to go is we're going to put this we're going to put the window first on here. Oops, I've left the frame parts in here. Got the frame parts here. We're going to have to do a little bit of painting. That's another reason why I'm going to start this first. I can put the frame together, paint it, go back and do the beginning, and then go, come back to this part. So we're going to set these parts aside here, but these parts are going to all end up curved. It's it's a simple window. It's similar to the one on the ground floor, except for it does not have a peak up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is throw some glue in here. I did discover in the last video, putting the wood glue on the pad works fine. Putting CA on here, not so much. It does not come all the way up. Doesn't completely come off. So I won't be doing that again. Let's grab the other tin vise. I think this is the one I've been using. Yeah, this is the one I've been using for wood glue. We're just gonna throw some glue in here. And throw some glue in here and realize just in time that I was about to just slap them in. Forgot about the beveled edge. Was just going to slap them in and it was going to be wrong. Remembered the beveled edge. So the windows will turn out just fine. And the beveled edge I'm talking about is right there, how this continues that curve. So we're going to do the same thing here. We set that down right here. And we're going to put the glue in here as well, making sure to keep the beveled edge on the right side, facing the right direction basically. Slide this one in here and this one down here. Take the excess glue out of here. Wipe it off on the edges. So now I'm going to set this down here for a couple of minutes and let that glue set. When I come back, I'll paint it and then we will start working on the framework for the wall. So I'll be back. Okay, that should be dry enough, and I still have paint from when I painted the other windows. I mentioned before that I do a lot of these videos back to back. So it actually worked out that I had the paint sitting here. So we'll just throw some paint in here. I probably could go straight into putting the windows together. I just like to give my paint a little bit of time to dry, a few minutes at least. And craft paint dries really well, really fast. Funny thing is, the craft paint that's still in here has started to separate while sitting there rather than just drying. And most of this you won't even see anyway. This will be on the inside of the window. You'll only see basically this part here and the wall, a little bit of the wall. So that should be good for the window. Set that over here. Not do a full-on clean on the paintbrush like I did last time, which entailed the soap and everything else. Just gonna mostly get the paint out of the brush. Especially because my brush rinser is out of water at this point. Okay. And I'm going to press on with the window. It shouldn't be that bad. It should go together really well. Similar to last time, look for the bevel and look for the injection points. That tells you the difference between the front and the back. The injection points are on the back, the bevels are on the front. Take my little scissors here. That one's too long, but that's okay. Maybe I think it's too short actually. We'll see. Yeah, it's too short, but it's just right. Meaning it is shorter than it would be to go all the way along the edge. But it only has to hold the window until it goes into the frame there. When I put it in the frame and glue everything else around it, it pretty much will get held in there no matter what. These pieces, I think, need to go because they picked up some sort of dirt, probably from my fingers. So we'll start back over. Not that it's hugely important because it's going to be inside behind the walls, but I don't like my models to look really messy like that. Okay, so oops. Cut this one. This time I think I managed to make it too long. Actually, perfect. And this one. Keep catching that part of the mat right there. And there's that one. Let's go ahead and get these off the backing material. And this one. Come on. It's not wanting to come off. It's coming up, but what's happening is it's dropping right back down. Stay there. Piece across one side. I think, yep, made this one too long. All is not right in the world if I don't do something a little bit too long. And last one here, that piece that I cut too long is still stuck to my finger, right there. cut this one too long? I did. Cut this one too long as well. So, didn't get it. There we go. See if we can get this piece to go into the trash can instead of sticking to me. Make sure, yep, there's the other one. It's still stuck to me. Come on. It's persistent. I think I got rid of it this time. Okay, so like before, and I think the paint has probably had enough time to dry. So like before, we're gonna peel off one side, if I can get it to come. Just realized I was really close to being off camera. I may have actually been off camera. I get rid of the backing paper, but not the tape. And I forgot to peel the backing paper off of here. Come on. Got excited, got ahead of myself. Come on. So I need to practice some hand dexterity and peel this while I'm holding the other piece, or while I'm holding the window. Sure that is the right side. Would be really funny if I put the window on backwards now. Okay, slide that into place like that, and let's go ahead and peel this other side. If it will come. It's not wanting to come, it's actually grabbing. There we go. That, I think, is a result of them cutting it with a not quite fully sharp knife. Oh no, I got paint on the bench. That's what the bench is for. Now I got paint on my finger. That's not what the finger is for. Let's get rid of this. Okay. So now, there it is. Where is, I don't have one out because I threw the one I was using away because I thought it worked so nicely. Let me get a thing to put glue into. Wow, I've already used this one. Put a bit of glue in there. Clean this one off. It doesn't matter really which one I use. I clean them both. But if I'm going to use one with super glue and it's got something on it, I would prefer it to be super glue that it's got on it. So put the glue in there and in there. Turn it around. Put some glue in there. Some in there. And now we're going to turn this around and lay it into place in the window. Being careful not to get super glue on it. And then push it down into place using the clamps. Super glue sets up really fast. I would prefer to have this clamped in place while it dries. That way it doesn't do anything silly. Let me pause real quick, clean up the bench a little bit, and we'll finish this window. Okay, so we'll leave this clamped for right now. We'll take these parts here and do the same that we did last time. So, something to remember, if you are building this, you want to make sure that these two tabs are down on the bottom. So we're going to take the top, fits on there like that. Need a little bit more glue than that. I actually use probably a ton more glue than I need to for these pieces, but that's okay. I prefer that it sticks and doesn't give me any heartache. So let's put this on the top, just like this. Just like the other two before. Actually, let's try this. This is kind of a unique way to do this. We're going to clamp it in the center first. Get my finger unstuck. Clamp it here. And one clamp here. Take this one off the center. It's kind of odd place. Actually, we will move this one all the way out here. Set this down. Take this next piece. Put some glue on the inside of it. Remember to keep the flat part towards the window itself. Almost glued it to myself. Flat part goes to the towards the window itself. Clamp, if I can get it to clamp. And a clamp here. Just set those on there for a couple seconds. That should be good enough. Let's see, this top part should be, and it is, good to go. Take some glue, put it on here. Put it on the windowsill itself. And then top these off. Don't put the thing on backwards. I almost did. Put that on there like that, lined up on either end, just like that. So now we have the frame. We can take the window itself, turn this around so that I can get to the glue a little bit easier. Run the glue along the sides of the window. Be careful not to get it onto the clear plastic because clear plastic fogs. Actually, being careful not to get it on anywhere besides where I want it. But super glue will fog your clear plastic, something horrendous. That should do it. So now we're going to take this in here just like we've done before. If I can keep from dropping it. Kind of center it, glued myself to it. Center it all the way around, like that. And then throw some clamps on it. Thought for a second there I had a spot of glue on the window. It's actually just a piece of dirt. That would have irritated me. So now this window is done. Clamps are slipping. this again, set this up here, put this off to the side out of the way because I shouldn't need super glue for the rest of this. Now we'll go back to the beginning of this stage and we will lay out the parts. I need to find somewhere to put those. We will lay out the parts that we've got. So we've got another 1FR1. Got the metal pieces there. 1FR2. 1FR3. This is different. Vertical strip 1FR7. 1FR8. 2 1FR9s. 2 1FR10s. 2 slats here, and then a panel with a bunch of strips on here. Make sure, yeah, that is all the pieces. This is completely different than the last one. So the first thing they want us to do is cut out the horizontal strips. Smooth edges with sandpaper. Just moving these up so I have somewhere to work on these pieces here. I flipped it over so that I could see on the back side where the tabs are to cut. Most of these are relatively flat. Okay, you get rid of this scrap piece of wood. Take a file. Smooth that down. All I'm doing is this little spot here. I'm just smoothing that down. Your best gauge to know when it's smooth, like Penny said on her channel a while back while building the I forget what the name of the bus was, but your best gauge for whether it's smooth or not is using your finger. If it feels smooth to your finger, it should be smooth. Up to step part 14, parts shown preferred marking, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we're going to take the short piece up top, 1FR9. And again, there are shorter and longer sides. These are the shorter ones. They need to be up at the top. So we're going to take 1FR5, the small one here. We're going to break this skin off of the glue. We're going to get rid of that in the trash. Let's see. Just looking to see what they're having me do. So we put one here, one here. These are both 1FR5s. As usual, just to keep them in place. Actually, because this is a little bit different, I think, than most of them have been, I'm just going to set it down here. believe we already start. No, we don't. FR10. Okay, one FR10. We take these two, or one of these two, put the glue on it or in it. Making sure that you have it the right way. Because you want your slats to hit the same spot. There's a taller and a shorter piece part to these pieces as well. This is not holding at all. So let's go back to the clamp method. Clamp that one. Let's put some more glue into here. Put that one in place. Put a clamp on it. And we'll put glue in these spots again. Put them together. See, that's the key thing. You can't see it, but I can. These are the same height right now. That's important. You don't want them to be, you don't want to be mismatching your parts, and that didn't work very well. That one just popped out of there. So hopefully that will stay in place. So then they want you to take just looking. Okay, so they want you to, and they're actually telling you to put it on the on this part instead. So I'm doing it backwards by putting it in this slot. But I'm okay with that. So we're going to do these two like this. I'm going to set this down here and hopefully it'll stay in place. We're going to let this sit for a minute so that it can actually, things can start setting, because right now I'm running out of clamps that are on the desk and I need all of them. So I will be right back in a few minutes, momentarily for you guys. Okay, I've moved around a couple of clamps. Window is done. Let me go ahead and set this one off over here. So on this one, we have to do the same thing we did before with the 1FR9. Dropped a clamp in the glue. Put some glue in there. And some glue in there. This wall is a little bit more complicated than the last ones were. That big blob of glue there is because that glue is drying out. So we'll clamp this. After we get it to be in place where it's supposed to be. Push this one in, make sure it's up, it's where it needs to be. Clamp it, turn the page. And get these out of the way so we can get these parts. So we need we need IFR 1. The slots do not align. So we have two IFR 6s. interestingly, here's what they're talking about. The slots do not align. Here, the slots are different sizes. And for the first time, we flip this over, and these slots are not going to line up either. Come on. There you go. So, let me go ahead and clean this blob of glue off of here. Throw some glue down. We're going to put some glue on the back of, this is going to be interesting. We're going to do it a little bit on both. We're going to put some on part 1 here along the back edge. And then we're going to flip over to part 6 just for over here. That should be everywhere it needs to go. Then we're going to line it up on the end here. Again, glue is slippery. Glue is slippery until it sticks. Do the same thing over here. And actually, this slot does line up. Stick that on there. Wipe that excess off. And then we're going to do the same here, except for this time we're going this way. And now that I know that this tab is where it's going to stop, or that slot is where it's going to stop, I can put all the glue on one side. Do not want extra glue down in there. So we'll set this on top here. Line it up. Try and line it up. Come on. Line it up here. And if it turns out that I have things slightly off, I have peeled parts apart together, or parts apart like this before. Although I did watch the video recently, and I was like, that makes so much more sense, because I cut them apart. But if you wet it down a little bit and then heat it, it should actually come apart pretty easily. So we're going to take the part from step 4, this piece, we're going to put glue see. Okay. We're going to put some glue in here. And we're going to put some glue right here. Let's get a little bit more. This one should be set up enough that I can take the clamp off. So you see, one goes all the way down. The other one should go. Did I do that one wrong? That is wrong. This is wrong. Okay, now I understand. Fortunately, this is wood glue and it has not completely set up yet. That means that one's built wrong too. What I had was my wall was going to be like this. So now by putting these back in correctly, I'm so glad I did not let this completely set. Let's go ahead and grab it here. Grab it here with a clamp. Push it down. They do have some flex because it is wood, but you don't want to be messing with it too much. You don't want to break pieces. And so, short one on the top. No, this might actually be right. Let's find out. We'll find out by dry fitting it before throwing glue on there. No, and see, here's what I was talking about. This leg is too long. Is it? No, actually it's not. It's not too long. It's good. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm just the guy making the video. I don't know what I'm doing. And I expect Eric will make a comment about that. Okay, so we'll put this in where it belongs. Come on, get in there. Should be able to take this one off now. Clamp it down here. This is why you do not, if it says to use wood glue, you do not ever use super glue, because if you make a mistake with super glue, you're never getting it back apart. So there's that. We can take this one off too. Then we take this piece, IFR4, put some glue onto each of the tabs, or onto each of the tabs like this. Into the slot where it's going to go in. And then we put it in here just like this, making sure that our two sides are far enough apart. That's why this one is so complicated. I just realized that this is where the door goes. So these can come off at this point. Okay, get these out of the way. And set this down here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put IFR2, double check, IFR2 on top of IFR3. Just like this. Holes have got to be on the top because that's where the little dowels are going to go. So we'll go ahead and put glue on the bottom side of this one. Just like this. Go all the way around. Come on. I'm going to have to put more glue out here soon. Make sure label on both of them go up. And the cutouts, the middle cutouts, need to line up. So let me push that together, push this down. Do the same on this end. Push that down. Not all of the cutouts will line up completely. These two cutouts will line up. This one won't. This one won't. Put that on there. That on there. That one like that. We should be able to pull these off now. Turn the page. And the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to do it right now, I'm not going to let things dry a little bit or anything. I want to make sure that I get that top piece lined up. So we're going to put glue in those, on those tabs. It's important that these are kind of square, because if it's not, your whole building is out of whack. And with the fact that we build the walls last, that would be really difficult to correct. Okay, so this tab is going to go here, and so on across here. Come on. Go ahead and put a clamp on these two. And we'll clamp the ends as well because they're trying to pop loose. This one not so much. This one is pretty badly trying to get away. So set that like that. Pause the camera for a couple minutes while that sets up, and I'll be right back. Okay, that should be set enough that I can press on. The last part of this, oh, almost threw the tile, threw them into the glue again. Let's see, we've got vertical strip FR8 on this side, FR7 on this side. And this time I'm actually not going to mumble about it. This time I'm going to see if I can actually do it. I'm going to put the metal discs in first before I attach it. See how that works out. So far, not as good as I expected because I dropped them all over here instead. I want them all here. That one can stay there. Do a little bit of glue in there. Pick it up. Should be easier to get into place because I'm not dealing with the entire wall. Matter of fact, I was able to push it all the way down when I'm not fighting with the entire wall there. This is the way to do these metal discs. Put some glue in there. Line this up with the flat side up. No, flat side up, not down. The reason there's a rounded and a flat side is the rounded side goes in just a little bit easier. This one did not go straight in like the first one. So there we go. Pushed in place. Now I'm going to add glue here and here. I'm going to put it on and find out that I've got it in the wrong spot. Not really. I looked. This one is supposed to be on this side. So put this on here like this. Clamp it. Do the same at the top. Clamp this part. Set this aside. Still got to put these on. I skipped a spot. Don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. My grandson decided to go outside and smoke, and now he's coughing up a lung. I think it's kind of funny that he does that. Back when I smoked, if I had a bad cold, I just didn't smoke for a while, for a couple days. Okay, got that one. I'm going to set this one in place. Come on. Nope. Had the round side up. Almost. That one went in quite a ways. I'll show you. The glue shot out of there and there. So I know the glue is doing something in there. And we're going to put some glue up at the top, down at the bottom. Gonna have to replace the glue again. It's drying out. Put that. Put a clamp on there. A clamp on there. Let's go ahead and switch this around like that, so that they're kind of the same. And then these are supposed to be in here. Flat edge aligns with the frame. So it's going to go in here like this. The narrow end to the inside. Put some more glue down here. Get this blob off of here. Run the glue across this way. Not sure if I'm going to have to, I probably will have to clamp these pieces in place for a couple minutes. In here like this. We'll go ahead and clamp it. When I'm clamping it, I got to make sure that it stays straight. Actually, we'll clamp it from here. And then we'll put a couple of clamps here. This one down. We'll make sure that, I guess we won't, I was going to say we'll make sure that it's on there correctly, that it is lined up, but I can't reach. So there's that one. One more piece for this issue. And we'll put the glue in here like this. Flat side out, like this. Again, doing the same thing down here at the bottom. Clamp it front to back. Had an itch on my forehead. Clamp it here. Again, here, making sure that everything is lined up. Set that down there for like that for right now. And actually, I'm going to let that be. I'm going to stop here. The only thing I've got left to do on this is I'm going to take it off once everything is kind of set up a little bit, and I'm going to put the 1, 2, 3 blocks on it. So Hope you're enjoying this. This one was a long one, another long one, which the Moomin has a lot of. Great build. Really is a great build. Lots of detail, lots of things to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. Leave a comment. Sorry, it's been a long video. Leave a comment. I answer all comments. I love to see them. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video or stream.
Buckman's Modelmania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Buckman's Modelmania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden